Ever wondered what signs could indicate a low-value woman? Let's delve into it. In the complex world of relationships, it's essential to discern the traits that might indicate a person's value, particularly from an alpha male's perspective. Understanding these signs can offer invaluable insight into the dynamics of your interactions. Stay tuned to discover the top 10 signs that indicate you might be dealing with a low-value woman. First off, we have a lack of ambition. Imagine a ship without a destination, aimlessly floating on the vast ocean. That's what lack of ambition feels like. It's not just about having dreams, it's about having the drive, the passion, the tenacity to chase those dreams. An individual without clear goals or aspirations can seem like a puzzle missing a crucial piece. To an alpha personality, who values ambition and drive, this can be a jarring mismatch. It's like trying to pair a roaring lion with a grazing deer. Their energies just don't sync. Ambition isn't about ruthless competition or stepping on others, it's about the desire to improve, to achieve, to excel. It's about having a purpose and relentlessly pursuing it. So when you're assessing your connection with someone, remember to consider their level of ambition. Keep your eyes open for this potential red flag. Moving on to the second sign, dependency. It's important to clarify that we're not talking about healthy interdependence, where two individuals lean on each other in times of need. Instead, we're focusing on excessive dependency. This is when someone relies too heavily on others, either emotionally or financially. This kind of dependency can manifest as an inability to make decisions without input, a constant need for reassurance, or an avoidance of financial responsibility. Now, everyone needs a helping hand from time to time, but a pattern of excessive dependency can be a red flag. It contrasts sharply with the independence and self-sufficiency often associated with alpha personalities. Alphas tend to value partners who can stand on their own 2 feet, who have their own goals, interests, and a level of financial stability. So, keep an eye out for this sign. Remember, dependency is not a trait an alpha male usually seeks. The third sign is constant negativity. Let's peel back the layers on this one. Imagine being around someone who always views life through a smoky gray lens. Her outlook is persistently gloomy and her attitude persistently sour. Instead of the glass being half full, it's always half empty. She's the eternal pessimist, her negativity seeping into every conversation, every interaction, every moment. This constant negativity can be a real energy vampire, sucking the vibrancy and positivity right out of you. It's like being in a perpetual rainfall without an umbrella. As an alpha individual, you thrive on positivity, you breathe confidence. You're the sun, not the rain. You seek the silver lining, not the cloud. You need someone who will fuel your energy, not drain it. Staying clear of negativity is crucial for an alpha's positive and confident energy. Next up, we have a lack of self-improvement and the inability to take responsibility. These two traits are quite interrelated and can be seen as signs of low value. Let's delve into this a bit more. Let's start with the lack of self-improvement. Now, we all have room for improvement, don't we? It's part of being human. But when someone is unwilling to invest in personal growth, it can be a red flag. This unwillingness can be seen as a lack of motivation or a lack of commitment to becoming the best version of oneself. We're not talking here about someone who's content with who they are. There's a big difference between being content and complacent. Complacency implies a certain level of stagnation, a refusal to push oneself, to learn, to grow. It's about staying in the comfort zone, not because it's comfortable, but because it's familiar. It's about settling for mediocrity when excellence could be within reach. On the other hand, self-improvement is about striving to be better, not for anyone else but for oneself. It's about recognizing one's shortcomings and working on them, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. And this leads us to the inability to take responsibility. This trait is often a byproduct of a lack of self-improvement. It's about not taking responsibility for one's actions and consistently blaming others for personal shortcomings. It's about playing the blame game, pointing fingers, and never looking inwards. Taking responsibility, however, is about recognizing that we are the architects of our own lives. It's about understanding that our actions have consequences, and we are responsible for those consequences. It's about owning up to our mistakes and learning from them, not running from them. In conclusion, a lack of self-improvement and an inability to take responsibility can be detrimental to an alpha's pursuit of excellence. It's not about being perfect, but about striving for progress. Because progress, not perfection, is the true sign of value. Now let's talk about promiscuous behavior and clothing style, unreliability, and lack of respect. Firstly, we delve into promiscuous behavior and clothing style. It's important to note that everyone has the right to express themselves as they see fit. However, it can become a concern when such behavior or style reflects a lack of self-respect or a need for constant attention. An alpha individual often values a certain level of modesty and respect for intimacy. They appreciate someone who understands that worth isn't defined by the amount of skin shown or the number of people they've been with, but rather by their character, intellect, and values. Moving on, let's discuss unreliability. Trust is a cornerstone of any relationship, be it personal or professional, and unreliability chips away at this foundation. An alpha individual who often values honesty, integrity, and dependability may find it challenging to connect with someone who consistently breaks commitments or fails to follow through on their promises. A pattern of unreliability can be a glaring sign of a low-value individual, as it may suggest a lack of respect for others' time and effort. Speaking of respect, this brings us to our next point. Respect is a two-way street. It's about understanding and acknowledging the boundaries, opinions, and feelings of others. A lack of respect can manifest in various ways. It could be as overt as disregard for personal space or as subtle as dismissing someone's feelings or opinions. An alpha individual who often upholds respect as a key virtue may find it difficult to align with someone who displays a consistent lack of respect for others. To wrap up this scene, it's crucial to remember that these traits, promiscuous behavior and clothing style, unreliability, and lack of respect, can be incongruent with the preferences and values of an alpha individual. These are all signs that could potentially indicate a low-value woman. Finally, we have passive victim mentality and unwillingness to communicate. Imagine a person who constantly sees themselves as the victim, never taking the initiative to change their circumstances. This passive victim mentality can be a real roadblock to growth and progress. It's a mentality that's in stark contrast to the resilience that an alpha personality values. Alphas prefer to face challenges head-on, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Now let's talk about unwillingness to communicate. Imagine being in a relationship with someone who avoids open and honest dialogue, who sidesteps important issues rather than addressing them directly. This unwillingness to communicate can pose significant challenges in maintaining a healthy connection. An alpha values clear, direct communication, as it fosters understanding, intimacy, and trust. Remember, resilience and open communication are key for an alpha. So there you have it, the top 10 signs of a low-value woman. From lack of ambition to an unwillingness to communicate, these traits can serve as a guide to understanding compatibility and value. It's crucial to recognize these signs and align yourself with individuals who share your drive, respect, and commitment to self-improvement. Remember, it's not about judgment, but about finding a partner who complements your alpha energy. Subscribe and like for more self-improvement and alpha tips. Stay alpha.